All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're talking about a concept that might just change how you think about your own mind. We're going to frame it as valuable property, your own mental real estate, a space that really needs care and protection, especially if you're neurodivergent. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Does your mental space ever feel just overcrowded? Like there are way too many thoughts, sounds, and to-do lists all yelling for attention at once? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely in the right place. So here it is, the big idea for today. Your mind isn't just a space, it's valuable property. And just like any piece of prime real estate, if you don't manage it, it can get chaotic and totally run down. So what exactly is mental real estate? Well, think of it as the internal world where everything happens. All your thoughts, your feelings, the decisions you make, your energy, and all the sensory stuff coming in. But here's the absolute key. That space is finite. You only have so much room. I love how therapist Tasha Rollins puts it. She says, your thoughts, feelings, focus, and attention span occupy space. It's so true, isn't it? Every single one of those things is like a tenant living in your head. And when you get too many tenants, well, things start to get pretty stressful. Let's make this a little more concrete. Imagine someone we'll call Jordan. Jordan is a late-diagnosed autistic adult. For them, every single day feels like their mental real estate is just being flooded. You've got sensory overload from the office, the mental energy of masking to try and fit in. And by Friday, they are just completely and utterly burned out. Okay, so how do we stop that kind of burnout from happening? The very first step is to take a look inside, to really assess your own internal landscape. We need to understand what's actually happening on that valuable property of yours. And this breaks it down really well. First, you've got your capacity. That's basically your battery level for the day. Then you have demand. That's everything life throws at you, mentally, emotionally, you name it. And energy regulation, that's your skill at balancing the two without getting completely overwhelmed. When demand exceeds capacity, your whole internal property starts to feel pretty unstable. And this is where it gets really interesting and honestly, super empowering. Because while you can't always control the demands coming at you, you have a surprising amount of control over your internal climate. You know the saying, you bring the weather? Some days, for example, you might bring a thunderstorm. That's that feeling of high stress, you're irritable, you're reactive. Every tiny little thing feels like a bolt of lightning, right? Or maybe you bring a fog, a really thick one. That's when you're hit with that exhaustion and brain fog, where just thinking clearly feels absolutely impossible. But, and this is what we're aiming for, you can also learn to bring a calm breeze. This is when you're able to approach your day with real intention and self-awareness, creating a peaceful, steady climate inside your own mind. So the big question is, how do we get more of those calm breeze days? Well, it takes a plan, a proactive maintenance plan. We have to shift from constantly cleaning up messes to actually preventing them from happening in the first place. And look at the difference here. It is night and day. Being reactive is saying, okay, I'm totally overwhelmed. Now I guess I have to recover. Being proactive is saying, you know what? Thursdays always drain me, so I'm going to protect my energy and block off Friday morning. It's about spotting those early morning signs before you hit the breaking point. So what's in this proactive toolkit? First, you've got your micro self-care. These are the small, everyday actions. We're talking about things like taking a quick 5-minute sensory break, putting on noise-canceling headphones to give your brain a rest, or even just doing a brain dump in a notebook to get all that clutter out of your head. And then you have macro self-care. This is the big picture stuff, your life's blueprint. This means designing a routine that actually respects your energy levels, not fights against them. It's about setting real boundaries based on your capacity and surrounding yourself with people who actually get it. And when you start to combine these small daily actions with those big picture choices, you start moving towards something really amazing, living in a state of true alignment. There's a word for this alignment, congruence. It's that beautiful, incredible state where your outside life finally lines up with your inside reality. You're not performing, you're not masking anymore, you are just showing up as your most authentic self. And the benefits of living this way? Wow, they are huge. We're talking fewer shutdowns and meltdowns, better sleep, more resilience, less anxiety. And you finally have the energy and the focus for the goals and relationships that actually mean something to you. You get to reclaim all that mental real estate. So let's circle back to Jordan for a second. By starting to use these proactive tools like building in quiet time and deciding to unmask at home, their mind is no longer that flooded, chaotic mess. It's a space that's being cared for. It's not just about surviving anymore, it's about actually thriving. So, I want to leave you with this one final question to think about, a really important one. Take an honest look at your life. Are you building a life that truly works for you? Or are you spending all your precious energy just trying to recover from a life that's constantly working against you? Because answering that, that's where protecting your mental real estate really begins.